and have more
But,
significance.
but
to
we
close
would
it
want
then.
him here though.
Absolutely.
So if it's the last 10 days in October though.
You can shift that. I
We
think.
can shift that with him? Okay, then that works.
Because
End
he
of
said
October.
anytime. Yes.
Why November 5th, do you say?
That's
Because he
Because
said
Because
it's,
this
he
is
said
the
that's the day
date
of the anniversary.
when he lost his
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
That's when we want to,
Fundraise, the
On
fundraiser
the
gala
last
will
day.
be held
Okay.
that day.
Okay.
and then to,
Why is the 5th of November significant to me?
I hope it's not your wife's birthday and you're doubting it.
It's December 6th, but no. The 5th of November rings a bell though for something else.
In the city or international or national?
Yeah, let's just take a look and see.
Google it.
That would be a nice.
My niece is
was he surprised at the beginning or how?
No,
you know?
no, he was not surprised, and he's familiar with the idea. He know what we are talking about, and he know what are the requirements. And since the beginning, he said, before I explained to him, he said, "I'll come here alone."
Oh,
So I
okay,
mean, yes.
okay. I think he's finding that out there while he's traveling.
Yes,
that-
it's much easier.
yeah.
He's a very funny guy too.
I don't know.
He was serious.
Yes.
When you see him, he's serious in person, but like
Mhm.
if you see the things that he does on his Facebook.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
It gives you a lot more time to find sponsors for everything.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
plan your
To,
calendar
and
better.
to do our you know, because once I think we're getting close to officially saying it's going to happen. I want that day to say we're officially doing this, because then we go all out on promoting it.
Absolutely.
I can
And-
still do the walk. It's 20 days. It's 3 weeks. I can miss 3
Where
weeks.
in October?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it depends on the school will accommodate me. I'll have no problem.
You know about that part, right?
Yes.
Where he was going to walk from Montreal and then arrive in Toronto on the day that Mr. Khatib's coming off the plane as a way of, since you know, Shaheen has been a part of.
It's gonna be cool.
It's good it's November and not January.
Yeah.
That's why he's like, oh, we're talking.
Well, in August it'll be.
He's been telling me how tough he is, and I said, so okay, you did one in May. Let's see if you get closer to.
November as it is, yeah, there'll be snow in Montreal in November.
I think it'd be interesting. So there's no rush in interviewing him. If we can have an interview with him first, and I don't know what you think, Joe, and kind of talk
Right.
about his story and then
I
him
believe,
supporting.
Yeah, I believe that there is some value to building momentum. And I would be concerned that if we were to interview him in the next week, that we could harm our chances of a bill.
Mhm.
We would want to consider when we might want to interview him. We could interview him, we just don't need to run it.
Yeah.
We could turn it into a feature as opposed to an interview, right? So we could interview
Who
him.
are you talking about? Well, that's what I was saying, maybe, because he's interested in interviewing as well. So maybe interviewing him to introduce the story and how this doctor is backing him up. So it's be a first interview, second
Or
interview.
even, I was thinking maybe if you consider the other way around, because he just published his book, and he would, probably, if you
did
interview.
he?
Well, yeah, this just came
May
out
1st.
recently, like a
came
couple
out
of
May
months ago.
1st.
So, I mean, if you interviewed him and you ran with this story without linking it directly
It's my copy.
to Khatib right away, and then build, so
He got
get that
one
story
from
out and
Lisa.
then introduce this story, say,
Sorry?
There's to be many, so maybe that's one, this is second, this is third again.
yeah,
So now we can actually
you can
plan
spread it
I
out and
think.
plan it out.
Well, Jimmy Carter and Eli Bison.
See, it's
Yeah,
fine,
he's,
it's fine.
he's good friends with Jimmy Carter.
We have well, this is the trade paper that came out, though. Right? This was originally released in 2010.
That's why I didn't notice that reason.
This is just the paper edition that came out, I guess, in 2011. All of this says. There it is. Yeah, so yeah, it's just this is what's called trade paper.
Paperback.
And it's just come out, but the original hardcover was in 2010. I used to work for Vintage. Right, well, if he's willing to be interviewed. Again, building momentum, so he's the local guy.
Yep.
So we talked to the local guy. Then we talked to the international who's coming. Tie him with your plan, right?
Yeah.
So it's when, right? So if he's talking about the last 10 days of October, it has to be after Labor Day that it runs.
The first piece, with Dr. Aboulesh. So.
But, I mean, we could put it together now.
I mean, the only reason we were kind of in a rush is because he's leaving
Who's
Saturday,
gonna-
but he's not leaving
Who's
for
going to interview?
the editorial.
Multiple,
Yeah,
an editorial board.
yeah. That's my, I don't know, that's my
No, I hear you,
suggestion.
I hear you, but,
These are his dates of availability. So to interview him, if not in August, then in September he's available on the 2nd, and the 9th.
I just wanted to make a suggestion, like whenever it comes out, whatever you think is the best time. But if you did the interview this week before he, like while the iron's hot, because we just seen him this morning, and I don't want to say we have him 100%, but we got him like 80%. You know, because he's a very busy.
He's busy.
I hear you, right, but if, okay, so we want to consider how we do it then. Because if it's an editorial board, we have no control over when the other media will run the story. And so if we have an editorial board this week, the other media will run the story next week.
Yeah.
And that's good, but it's the beginning of July, and not much else happens until after September, right? So I do take your point, George, but I'm concerned. Now, if we had a writer in mind,
Well, why
I
are we
think-
interviewing
I think
him?
we have.
Oh,
Today,
right?
no,
I think there's
from my
something wrong
impression
with,
this morning.
marketing.
You think we got him 100%?
100%.
Addition,
100%.
and then making.
I
I
some
would
mention
have to eat my shoe if he said no.
of this,
Well, the only thing I was concerned because he's extremely
I
busy,
agree with you.
and if things pop
I
up,
agree with you.
You'll
So
might
maybe we should
replace
reach out to him this week and tell
instead
him
of us.
why we want to do it.
that's what I'm, you know, and so, but
So
if
we don't-
we
Kinda
have
make first
something
contact.
rolling with him right away while the iron's hot, then he's more apt to stay with us and stay with our, you know,
at the same time.
because he's in demand.
Well, Paula was
He's in-
interested. Maybe we
once
can
bitten,
get
twice shy.
someone to
Yeah, do you know what I'm
interview
saying?
about this and mention
He's
that.
in demand, so we want
We could do it in our
secure him.
publications.
But what
But-
about
And then as
how
a
the
follow-up
interview
story,
goes?
we'll do it
Because
with
we
the
have
editorial
three
in
things.
September.
We have
As long as we have an English
the initial
language,
local guy, like
story.
Joseph.
We would translate
His
it
story.
into English.
Then we have an interview with Khatib, and we run that maybe like a week apart.
The partners.
And then after those, I can start at the beginning of October with the blog, and then that can be covered, and
But
then
he's happy
that's like
because
the
we-
sequence, like local guy, international, and then that, and then the final we end on the day that he arrives. Like
That's what we do.
so, in a week, like 3 weeks before.
So what we're thinking is we interview him, but we interview him, not an editorial board, okay? So we talked to Dr.
Aboulesh.
Aboulesh. We talked to Dr. Aboulesh now
About this.
about this. We get one of our journalists to do that. They'll run a story in Corriere, et cetera. We'll translate it into English, and then we'll put it up in a newsletter release
Yeah, to all the,
on the media room to all of our partnership.
Yes.
where they just mention the strategy,
We'll
just a little
mention the
bit.
strategy as in a cut.
Yeah.
And then and then in September, talk to him again and talk to,
About that project.
In
Khatib.
an editorial board,
Yes.
in September you'll
in
talk to him?
September.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. And then the story with Ismail Khatib, will that be concurrent or a week later or something?
No, I think what we would do is the editorial board would have both, because, if possible, because we're positioning Dr. Aboulesh as being an ambassador for,
Oh, yeah.
for the visit, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So we have the two of them in the editorial board,
Yeah.
and Dr. Aboulesh as well could help. Look, the media that we're going to attract is going to speak Arabic, likely.
Yes.
You know, maybe some others, but
Yeah.
but we'll have the Jewish press, we'll have the Arabic press.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Hopefully they'll have
South Asian
translators.
Yeah, some of the South Asian press, you know, Chinese press, we can try for. But certainly we'll have the Arabic and the Jewish. And I think, you know, we'll invite global and all.
What's technology like over there? Is it even possible to have an editorial board with Dr. Bashir and a camera?
You mean like Skype or
there?
something?
Yeah?
Or maybe if he's in Germany, he travels to
In
Germany.
Jenin, I
If
think
not, I guess
he would
over the
know
phone,
best.
but it'd be kind of
It's
cool to
hard,
have.
Janine, I
Oh, you
guess.
mean like
It's
the-
possible, but
I'm not sure.
No, having.
Well,
he's right.
colleagues
Oh,
that
that's
are
one of the questions we
on
forgot to
on
ask.
Skype
How the
camera.
technology was on.
Well, no, communication, like what did he say for me?
Yeah.
He'll send, he said he have access to email
Yeah.
from his home in
Jenin?
At home, whatever that's.
Janine, and he'll send you the cell phone, the home phone, and the email address, everything.
So we
All
can
the
ask
contact
Shahid,
details.
as soon as you get that, can you pass that on to him, the information?
Yeah, yeah,
Because we keep talking about wanting to do it.
So
Okay.
you can be with us on this. By the way,
We could do
your last
that,
name is
like a
Sultan.
Skype
Yes,
setup.
sorry, excuse me.
No, no, I have the card.
Yes, no.
But
But we, between now and then, because
Yes, please.
between now and then we'll have to practice.
Sultan, I thought was
Okay.
not an
Our,
Arabic name.
did
Yes,
she
it is an
explain
Arabic
what
name.
our,
Really?
Yes.
just
I
our
thought it
challenges
was
is
only
right now?
Turkish or-
No,
information?
because
Yeah.
you know,
Because
long time ago,
because
Turkish
now I
and
think
Arabic
we've pretty much
considered
confirmed the
as
date.
the same
That
culture
was-
for
we
many
got that
hundreds of
out of the
years.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
That needs to be
yeah, yeah.
mentioned.
I-
Osmani.
You know, I
And
have
even
no
earlier to
reason
that,
not
because earlier to
to-
that,
to
to the Ottoman
why
Empire,
we shouldn't just go ahead
all
and
the
go with
Turkish
these dates.
territory
Like,
ruled
I
by
think it's a
the
perfect time, the
Muslims
last
and
10
Arabs
days.
from the Middle
Uh,
East.
Totally.
And
Yeah, I think
after
a
few
it's
hundred
better
years,
to
go
make
under
that
that.
decision
Yes,
right now.
Yes.
I always
they
thought
said
to
the-
Amnesia's time at the end
Here's,
of
here's the
And you
dates.
were
Well, that's
I'm
what
from
I'm
Middle
saying,
East,
he's
from
available
Iraq.
on November
Iraq.
5th, so it'd be very cool if it finishes.
Oh, because
This
Mr.
day.
But I have Turkish roots as
Yeah.
well.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
roots
Yeah.
from far.
So what
Yeah.
we,
Yes.
if he's coming for the 10 days, it would probably start on the 26th
So
or
then,
something of
is it
October.
possible for
So that there's
the,
this. and then
me, you, and him
The 6th
to
or
have
even the 7th.
So what I'm saying
communications
is
between now and
is
then?
that now we know that
Yes,
he's
sure.
good for
So,
that,
you
he's
know,
good for
sure.
the 10 days, he's
If any
good for that,
questions
so we
come
got
up.
our two main superstars.
You work out of this
that
office?
are
Yes.
available.
Yes.
Why not just confirm this as fast as we can? Like
Well, that's the reason why we want to interview
go-
him as well
yeah.
as the first, and he'll be able to say, these are the dates and.
So the only thing
It's
that we
days.
need to do is just change it a little bit and say from the 26th of October to November the 5th.
Or, or 7th, so
Or
that it's not
6th,
that
yeah,
like
to
that.
give them time the next day to, of course, to go.
Yes.
So maybe October 27th to November 7th.
How
or
many
something.
days is that?
Can it
Anybody
be
know
so
anything
that Dr. Abulaish is there when he arrives and on the night of the gala?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the 26th, if he comes on the
Yes.
26th, he can,
31.
he can receive him right at the airport. He can be the first one to greet him,
To the
Yeah.
6th.
That's it.
along
10
with
days.
the Toronto
8.
Police Chief or something, you know.
That's up to 26, 27, 28, 29, 31.
31.
That'll be 13 days.
4, 5, yeah, no, it's 11.
It's a little bit, how about the 29th?
Yeah.
If you start from the 29th
It
and
will
we
be
end,
easier, yes.
yeah, give him a few days of breather after
Yeah.
the gala.
29 to the 8th or something.
Okay, so we hold the fundraiser on the 5th, so we're creating a fund. The fund is aimed to do what? Okay, this is to provide,
Well, the thing about this is getting the torch back out on the road, and to continuing the journey, and now it'll be under Ahmed's memory that we'll be able to share it throughout the world. So to create funds for step by step, but also we want to, from those funds, we want to make a donation to his charity in Jenin. He's got a performing arts theater that
yes,
he's
yes, yes. Now, are there difficulties with making an international?
Not if it's coming from, no, we as a charity can donate to whoever we want. We can give a bursary. And in this case, it's very appropriate because of the nature it helps us bring awareness.
No, I
to this
understand,
event.
just if there are any international.
Not at all,
relations
because
Tax.
we would do it as a bursary. Like we would say, you know, here, Mr. Khatib, this is a donation from Step by Step for your cinema. And it's perfect, you know, it's very 100% appropriate.
No, I understand, I guess what I'm saying is if there's a limit to how much we can donate.
Not as far as I know.
There is also another thing, sorry, George. that the German